So I'm sure you've heard the trope, Jews own the media, right? Well, hold, I'll come back to that in a second. Isn't it interesting how network news can report every single detail about Epstein except for one? They'll cover the island, they'll cover the political figures like Trump and Clinton, the billionaires like Gates, the horrific abuse allegations, victim accounts, legal details, non-stop calls for transparency and releases. But the one thing they conveniently leave out is that Epstein was a Jewish supremacist Zionist, and he had extremely strong and well-documented relationships with Netanyahu, and he was working for Israel. But the mainstream media is leaving all of those facts out. Instead, they're packaging it as a Russian operation, Russian only, KGB intelligence, because that's the only foreign influence that they're allowed to say out loud. The story stays framed as a scandal, never as a geopolitical operation. Total silence on that. Ehud Barak, that's the former prime minister of Israel, is photographed going in and out of Epstein's home for years, yet somehow he never makes the nightly news. A senior Israeli military intelligence officer stayed at Epstein's Manhattan residence for extended periods of time. And that's not gossip. That's not Twitter. That's documented journalism. So why does the mainstream media treat Epstein like he was just some lone predator when the evidence shows international power connections? Because the moment you mention Israel, suddenly the story becomes too sensitive, too complicated, too risky. And when facts can't be reported because they're politically inconvenient, we don't have journalism, we have PR. And when it turns into PR, it feeds the same old trope that Jews, they own the media. But that's not true. It's Israel that holds that role. And once again, they are using money and influence to shape what's getting reported. And that's the real story behind the silence. That's why Epstein's full story still hasn't been told.